Okay. Say the date.
Today's Sunday the 28th of July.
What time is
Hyunga, Western Province, Papua New Guinea. At the time is, I have no idea.
it? Must be like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dan, how was your first week?
It was good. It was full on. Enjoyed the weekend. So I spent my first week in the emergency department and outpatients. So probably spent about 1.5, 2 days in there all up. The first few days we just used to set up our accommodation and that.
Okay. What were the highlights of the week in the outpatients department?
I think the highlights of the week was having your own autonomy kind of thing, and being able to use some of the skills we learnt at university, and seeing lots of kids. It's pretty fun. Lots of little babies and toddlers. They all come in because it's free for children under the age of 5, so their mums are always worried, much like Australia, and bring them in early on for most of their illnesses. So yeah, that was pretty good.
Can you pick out one case that was sort of one of the highlights, like a positive case?
I wouldn't say it was so much positive for the patient. Just like one of the cases picked up with this little kid with malaria. It wasn't quite the right clinical picture, but he had a mild fever and he reported fever, so they sent him for their blood test and came back as positive for falciparum, and yeah, got to explain his whole treatment regime with Malawan, which I'd never heard of before. It's used quite regularly here. That was pretty good.
What was the most serious part of the week?
I had 2 cases that were pretty serious. The lesser of the 2 was maybe one was the domestic violence case. This lady had come in after being kicked in the mouth by her husband, and I was unable to treat her. The reason why that was she didn't have any money. Here it's a 25 kina charge for domestic violence, and she only came because she needed to file a police report, but for a written police report it's 50 kina. So for this lady who was assaulted in domestic violence, it's going to cost her 75 kina, which is about $35 Australian, to get treatment in which she didn't have any money. So we just had to give her basic antibiotics and Panadol and send her on her way until she could come back. That made me feel quite uncomfortable, and I let the nurse that was there with me handle most of that. And I sat there quietly, can't really interfere with the way it is here. And the other case was a 7-month-old child who came in with apparently congenital heart failure, congenital heart disease, something like that, and he died in the emergency department. So that was pretty full on, my first paediatric death. I wasn't heavily involved in the case, but I was helping out and with the child and the parents and that. So that was the toughest part of the week.
Tell me one thing that you've learned this week.
One thing I've learned, I've refreshed my paracetamol and amoxicillin dosing because everyone gets Panadol and amoxicillin apparently. And the biggest thing I probably learned is more about malaria. So the rapid test we do, the Malawan, Arthemeter, and the treatments for malaria were the biggest things I've learned this week. If there's a fever, it's malaria. And also I learned some toxicity.
What did you see this week that you realise you need to improve?
Antibiotics. I think that's the same with most people here, is antibiotics. They use old school antibiotics that we don't see in Australia, like chlorphenol quite regularly. So I think antibiotics, more on malaria as well. And I think it's just getting back into after having 4 weeks off and then getting thrown in the deep end with a different language, different culture, different everything, trying to get back some more of my clinical skills as well as we go.
Yep. Anything else that you want to mention?
No, it's pretty fun otherwise. Hospital, big days, but at the moment Ash is cooking really good food, which is a bonus. And so we head down the markets most days and get our fresh produce. And then today we went to the rugby and just had a chilled out weekend, which was a nice break. It's been good.
Do you feel settled in?
Yeah, more settled in. I think time's going to go fast. It's like 1 week's down already. We've only got 5 weeks left. And that's, I'm still in ED next week as well, so I think time will fly by.
Okay. Thank you, Dan.
No worries, Milo. The record is on black.
Oh, yeah.